I was sitting across from him, Mr. Williams, the new CEO. The air felt thick, uncomfortable. "Emma," he said, leaning back in his chair with that smug smile. "You've been here too long. You're dead weight." My heart sank. "What? I've dedicated 35 years to this company." "Time to make cuts," he insisted, waving his hand as though I were a pesky fly. I couldn't believe my ears. "But I'm innovative. I can help the company," I protested, trying to keep my voice steady. "Sorry, but I only see a need for fresh faces," he replied, dismissing me like yesterday's news. I nodded quietly, too stunned to argue. As I stood up, a wave of sadness hit me. I fought back tears as I packed my desk. I could feel my colleagues' eyes on me, a mix of pity and confusion. I didn't want their pity. I took deep breaths, focusing on the familiar objects on my desk. My stapler, my favorite mug with a silly cat on it, and a folder. My proposal. I opened it, flipping through the pages. My ideas for the company's future stared back at me, bright and hopeful. "Emma, you can't let this get to you," Olivia said, stepping into my office. Her smile was warm, but I could see the worry in her eyes. "I can't believe it, Liv. After all these years, this is how it ends?" I said, feeling the heaviness in my chest. "He's an idiot. Don't let him crush your spirit," she replied, trying to cheer me up. I forced a smile. Easier said than done. I glanced again at my proposal. What if he reads this? What if he sees how much I can really help? "Maybe he will, but you might need a different approach," Olivia suggested. "Don't let him think you're done." Her words hung in the air. Could I really change his mind? As I finished packing, I took one last look around my office. It felt like leaving a part of myself behind. I squeezed my eyes shut, willing the tears not to fall. "Do you need anything? A ride?" Olivia asked. "No, I just need to think," I mumbled, avoiding her gaze. "Okay, but don't stay away long. I'll be here for you," she said, giving me a reassuring pat on the back. Leaving the building, I stepped into the cool evening air. My heart felt heavy. It was over. Or was it? Suddenly, a vibration interrupted my thoughts. I pulled out my phone. "Don't give up yet. Monday will change everything." Who was this? My mind raced. What did it mean? Was it a prank? Or was there a chance to turn things around? I took a deep breath, narrowed my eyes at the sunset. Maybe all wasn't lost. Maybe I could fight back. As I walked away, a flicker of hope ignited inside me. Would I dare to believe? The smell of fresh coffee filled the air. As I stepped into our favorite coffee shop, my hands were still shaking. I slid into a booth across from Olivia, who offered a bright smile, but I could tell she noticed something was off. "Hey, Emma. How are you holding up?" she asked gently. "Not great, Liv," I replied, my voice barely above a whisper. I can't stop thinking about what he said. Dead weight. I feel like I don't matter anymore. "Emma, you're not dead weight," Olivia exclaimed, her blue eyes wide with determination. "I've seen the company's numbers. Your department is one of the best. You've helped so many of us." I shook my head. "But he doesn't see that. I'm just old news." "Old? You're still sharp. Look at how innovative you are," she insisted, leaning closer. "You can still keep up with all this tech craziness. You just need to see it." "Starting over at my age? It feels impossible," I confessed, folding my hands. "Everyone has their eyes on younger talent. What if I've become obsolete?" "Don't you dare think like that," Olivia said fiercely. "You have experience and wisdom. These young whippersnappers can't match that." "Maybe," I murmured, feeling a flicker of hope in her words. "But it's getting tough." She took a sip of her coffee, looking thoughtful. "I've heard some whispers about Mr. Williams. People are talking about conflicts in the boardroom. Some don't agree with his aggressive approach toward veteran employees." "Really?" I asked, leaning forward. "What do you mean?" "Well, some board members believe he's making a mistake," she said, glancing around to make sure no one was listening. "Mr. Thompson, in particular, has a lot of influence. He cares about the long-timers. He might not support what Williams is doing. Mr. Thompson? I repeated, remembering his kind eyes and how he'd always been supportive. Do you think he could help me? Olivia smiled. Maybe. He respects your work. You should talk to him. As we finished our coffees, I felt a flutter of hope. Maybe I wasn't completely alone in this. As we got up to leave, my eyes scanned the room, and then I froze. Emma, what's wrong? Olivia asked, noticing my sudden stillness. At a table across the room sat Mr. Thompson. Our eyes locked. He raised an eyebrow, then subtly nodded at me. I blinked, in surprise. Why was he here? Did he know what happened? My heart raced. Do you know him? Olivia whispered, eagerly pulling me back to reality. I think so. I mean, he's always been nice to me, I stammered, still feeling confused. Should we go say hi? Olivia asked, nudging me. I don't know, I replied, feeling a mixture of excitement and anxiety. What would I even say? Go for it, Olivia encouraged. You need to talk to someone who believes in you. With Olivia's encouragement echoing in my mind, I took a deep breath. Okay, let's do it. As I stepped towards Mr. Thompson's table, my heart pounded. Was this a chance I couldn't miss? As I approached Mr. Thompson's table, my mind suddenly took me 3 weeks back to a private meeting we had. It was just the two of us, the air thick with anticipation. Emma, I need your insights on something big, he had said, leaning forward, his kind eyes piercing into mine. There's a storm coming to the company. A storm? I had asked, feeling a shiver run down my spine. What did he mean? Yes, he said, jotting down notes. Can you share your vision for the future? I want to hear your ideas. I had felt a surge of adrenaline. It was my chance. I explained my thoughts on digital transformation, how we could save millions by embracing new technology, revamping our strategies. We need to innovate or fall behind, I had declared passionately. Mr. Thompson nodded, his pen scratching furiously on the notepad. Interesting. Very interesting. He paused. But sometimes, the board needs to see what the CEO cannot. What do you mean? I asked, puzzled. He leaned back, looking thoughtful. Just know that your ideas matter. They could change everything. I had handed him a copy of my proposal that day, carefully documenting my ideas, complete with my signature and the date, that now felt more significant than ever. Emma? Olivia's voice broke through my thoughts. Are you okay? I blinked, coming back to the present. Mr. Thompson was still watching me, his eyes warm and encouraging. Yes. Sorry. Just remembering something, I replied, my voice shaky. Go on, Olivia urged, offering me a subtle push toward Mr. Thompson. Taking a deep breath, I stepped closer. Mr. Thompson, I said, feeling my heart race. It's good to see you. Emma, good to see you too, he replied warmly, motioning for me to sit. I heard about the meeting with Mr. Williams. Yeah, it was rough, I said, my voice tinged with frustration. He called me dead weight. I don't know what to do now. He looked at me with understanding. I've always respected your work. Your ideas have merit. You have a lot to offer. Thank you, I said, feeling a little lighter. I remember our last meeting. You mentioned a storm coming. Is it here? Mr. Thompson nodded slowly. In some ways, yes. Changes are already happening. Some people are unhappy with Mr. Williams' approach. I want to help. Your proposal. It's still powerful, Emma. His words filled me with hope. You really believe that? Absolutely. I've read it over again. There's potential here that we can't ignore, he said firmly. Mr. Williams wouldn't even look at it, I replied, feeling a mix of anger and sadness. He dismissed it without a second thought. Sometimes, change comes from unexpected places, Mr. Thompson said wisely. But it's important that you stand up for your ideas. Both the board and Mr. Williams need to know the value you bring. I felt a surge of courage. How can I make them listen? Get ready to present your proposal again. We need to show them its worth. he said, leaning in. I'll advocate for you. But you need to believe in yourself first. I will try, I said, my voice filled with determination. I won't let this end here. His smile encouraged me. That's the spirit, Emma. Your time is not over. You've just begun to fight. As I left his table, I felt a newfound strength bubbling inside me. Maybe this storm could turn into a chance for me to shine. I wasn't done yet. No way. Monday morning arrived, and I was still snuggled under my covers. My heart was heavy. What if this was the end of my journey at the company? Do I even want to check my work email? I muttered to myself, clutching my pillow. Just then, a notification chimed on my phone, jolting me awake. I hesitated. Did I really want to face more bad news? Taking a deep breath, I swiped to open my messages. My eyes widened. It was an urgent email from the board. They requested my presence at an emergency meeting at 10 a.m. The subject was marked confidential. What on earth? I gasped, sitting up straight. My heart raced. I quickly opened the email. Attached was a formal proposal for company restructuring. My restructuring! The document mirrored my suggestions, complete with my name, boldly featured as the architect. No way, I whispered, reading the email over and over. Was this a mistake? As I continued to read, it became clear. My ideas hadn't been ignored. They had been circulated among the board members. My vision had impressed them, and they were taking it seriously. Wow, this might actually be real, I exclaimed, jumping out of bed. I felt a mixture of excitement and fear swirl inside me. But then, panic set in. What do I do? I asked myself, glancing at the clock. I had just 1 hour to prepare. I quickly rushed to my closet. I rifled through my clothes, trying to find something that made me feel confident. This will do, I said, pulling out my favorite blazer and a classic blouse. It felt good to put on something professional again. As I got dressed, my mind raced with questions. What if they wanted to know why Mr. Williams dismissed my ideas? What would I say? My heart raced with uncertainty. Emma, you can do this, I told myself in the mirror, adjusting my blazer. You've worked hard. You deserve this chance. But I still felt the weight of doubt. What if this was just another way to push me out? Suddenly, my phone buzzed again. I grabbed it, half hoping it was more good news. Instead, it was a text from Olivia. Hey, just heard about the emergency meeting. I'm here for you. What's going on? I quickly typed back. My proposal is being discussed. I'm nervous. Don't be. Just be you. You've got this, she replied. Her words sparked a fire inside me. I won't let fear hold me back, I declared. I gathered my notes and put them into a folder. The proposal felt heavy in my hands, not just with paper, but with my hopes and dreams, my future. I took a deep breath, reminding myself of Miss Thompson's words, "Your time is not over." As I stepped out of my apartment, I could feel the cool air tugging at my blazer, almost like it was urging me on. My heart raced as I headed to my car. Today is the day, I whispered to myself. When I arrived at the office, I took a moment to breathe. It was now or never. As I walked toward the conference room, I could feel all eyes on me. Here goes nothing, I murmured, pushing the door open as a wave of anxious energy surged within me. Would they believe in me? Would they support my dreams? This chapter was just beginning, and I was ready to fight for my place. I pushed open the door to the conference room, my heart thumping loudly in my chest. Inside, the board members were already seated. My eyes immediately found Mr. Williams. He looked uncomfortable, shifting in his seat, his jaw tight. Emma, welcome, Mr. Thompson said, his voice warm and inviting. Please, take a seat. I quickly walked over and sat at the table, right next to Mr. Thompson. I could feel Mr. Williams' glare, a weight pressing down on me. The meeting began with a tense atmosphere. Thank you all for coming, one of the board members said. We've called this emergency meeting to address some concerning trends in the company's performance. I held my breath, trying to process what I was hearing. Since Mr. Williams took over and implemented his aggressive personnel changes, We've seen significant declines in various departments, another board member added, glancing sideways at Mr. Williams, whose face was now flushed. Mr. Thompson took a deep breath and began to speak. We've discussed various strategies, and I would like to introduce Emma's proposal as the roadmap that could save our company. What? I whispered under my breath, shocked. Mr. Thompson was using my ideas. Mr. Williams shifted uncomfortably, his expression darkening. I could see anger brewing beneath the surface. Emma's vision focuses on digital transformation and redefining our approach to client engagement. Mr. Thompson continued, his voice steady. This is not just about saving money, it's about innovation. Board members began to take turns praising specific aspects of my proposal. I love the way you suggested transitioning to cloud technology, one board member remarked. It could really streamline operations. Exactly, another affirmed. And your outreach ideas are spot on. We need to connect more with our clients. I sat in disbelief. They were praising the very ideas Mr. Williams had dismissed just days earlier. Mr. Williams, one of the board members said, glancing at him, what do you think about Emma's proposal? Mr. Williams opened his mouth, but hesitated. I think we need to consider all options, he said, his voice strained. I was hit by the realization that this meeting had been planned long before my dismissal. That mysterious text I'd received, urging me not to give up. It all made sense now. Someone had believed in me enough to set this up. As the board continued to discuss my ideas, I realized this was my moment. I had support. I wasn't just a number, or dead weight. Thank you, I said when I finally found my voice. I appreciate your feedback. Mr. Thompson smiled at me, encouraging me to speak more. And I believe these ideas can bring our company to new heights, I added, feeling the energy in the room shift. Mr. Williams clenched his jaw, and I could practically feel his frustration radiating off him. But there was no going back. They had already started to see what I could bring to the table. As discussions continued, I felt a rush of confidence. I could do this. My voice mattered. I shot a glance at Mr. Thompson, who nodded subtly, a smile of pride on his face. The meeting was proving to be a turning point, not just for the company, but for me. I wasn't done yet. I was just getting started. With every word spoken in favor of my ideas, I could feel the shackles of doubt breaking away. This was my chance to show everyone that I was not simply a remnant of the past, I was a vital part of the future. As the meeting progressed, I could feel Mr. Williams' tension in the air. He leaned forward, trying to assert himself. But there are many variables to consider with these proposals, he said, his voice laced with sarcasm. How can we be sure these ideas will work? I held my ground, refusing to let him intimidate me. The financial projections show a potential increase in profits by 30%. I replied, keeping my tone professional. My research supports all of my recommendations. A board member quickly chimed in. Exactly. The numbers are too compelling to ignore, Mr. Williams. I glanced at the screen where the charts and figures illuminated the room. My heart raced as I saw the projected growth. Thank goodness I had put in the hard work to make my proposal data-driven. Mr. Williams scowled, his glare practically burning through me. But I focused on the board, answering their technical questions with increasing confidence. The strategy will not only improve efficiency, but also enhance customer engagement, I said, feeling empowered by my own words. Excellent point, one of the board members said. We need to pivot towards a more client-focused approach to stay competitive. I could see Mr. Williams growing frustrated. He was losing control of the room, and it felt empowering. It was finally my moment. Let's vote, someone suggested, breaking the tension. The board members all nodded in agreement. With a pounding heart, I waited, my breath caught in my throat, hoping for the outcome I had dreamed of. Those in favor of reinstating Emma and promoting her to Chief Innovation Officer, Mr. Thompson asked, his voice steady. I held my breath as hands flew up around the table. Every hand but one Mr. Williams. Yes, yes, I whispered to myself, a smile creeping onto my face. The votes were counted, and Mr. Thompson leaned forward. The board unanimously agrees. Congratulations, Emma. You're back, and you will report directly to us, not Mr. Williams. I could hardly believe it. Thank you, I exclaimed, my heart swelling with joy. I won't let you down. Mr. Williams' face darkened, a storm brewing in his eyes. But I didn't care. I had fought back, and I was ready for my new role. Wait, Mr. Thompson added, lowering his voice. We were also testing Mr. Williams' judgment by observing how he handled your proposals. He failed spectacularly. What do you mean? I asked, feeling the weight of those words. Mr. Thompson continued. His dismissive attitude towards you and your ideas showed us that he may not be the leader we need. I felt a rush of vindication. The board had seen me, truly seen me. As we wrapped up the meeting, Mr. Thompson looked directly at me. Emma, we'd like you to lead the implementation team for your vision. You'll have full authority to select your staff, including deciding Mr. Williams' future role. What? I gasped, my heart racing again. Me? Lead the team? Absolutely, he assured me with a smile. You've proven you can do it. We all believe in you. I was speechless. This is incredible. Thank you. As the meeting concluded, I felt something shift inside of me. I wasn't just fighting for my job. I had a chance to lead the change in the company. The air was electric as I walked out of the conference room. It felt like a new beginning, like the sun was shining brighter than before. I could finally embrace the journey ahead. With every step I took, I felt stronger and more determined. This was just the start, but I was ready. Time to create the future. My future. 3 months had passed since that life-changing meeting, and I could hardly believe how much had transformed. We had started implementing my vision, and the results were nothing short of amazing. Emma, our profits have skyrocketed, one of my team members exclaimed, eyes wide with excitement. They've exceeded even the board's optimistic projections. I know, I said, grinning ear to ear. We're on the right track. I looked around at my diverse team, a blend of experiences and fresh ideas. We were all working together seamlessly. In fact, I had brought back several talented individuals who Mr. Williams had dismissed as dead weight. I'm so glad to be back, one of them said to me one day in the break room. It feels great to be valued again. You earned this, I replied, my heart swelling with pride. Everyone here brings something unique to the table. One afternoon, I found a moment to speak with Mr. Thompson privately. He had been an unwavering mentor throughout this journey. Emma, he said, his voice calm and reassuring, I think it's time I share with you the full story. What do you mean? I asked, curious. Your decade of detailed reports and suggestions, he began. They didn't just disappear after Mr. Williams took over. They were archived and analysed by the board for years. I felt my breath catch. You mean they were watching me all along? Exactly. They believed in your potential all this time, he explained. They saw the value you brought, even when others didn't. The weight of his words sank in. I went through so much doubt. There were times I almost gave up my career. I admitted, my voice shaky. But now, I realize my worth isn't defined by others' judgments. Mr. Thompson nodded, pride in his eyes. You fought back, and look at where you are now. You are a leader, and your ideas are making a real difference. As we spoke, I reflected on that dark time, when Mr. Williams had called me dead weight. I had been so close to letting that label define me, but now I understood. My journey had only just begun. Later that day, I stood before my new corner office, anticipation buzzing through me. I opened the door, taking in the bright space, filled with light and purpose. As I settled in, I caught a glimpse of Mr. Williams outside, working in a reduced capacity under my supervision. He looked up and met my gaze. I felt a mix of emotions. This was the man who had underestimated me, who almost led me to doubt my worth. But instead of anger, I felt something lighter. I remembered how far I had come. I walked past him, holding my head high. There was a fire inside me now. I had earned my place, and I wasn't going to let anyone take it away. As I entered my office, I let out a sigh of relief and triumph. I thought to myself, Monday changed everything, but so did I. And for the first time, I felt truly proud of who I was becoming. The journey ahead was bright, and I was ready for it.